Hey guys, Bill McDonald, Greenwood, Indiana.
Bill Lowen here, Brookville, Indiana.
Kyle Cortiana, Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Billy boy, you go first.
You want me to go first? If I had to pick what my favorite species of bass is, it's truly probably the spotted bass. I know everybody loves largemouth. They love smallmouth. I grew up on the Ohio River. I was predominantly a Main River fisherman, and the species of fish that's predominantly out there is that spotted bass. So that's kind of what I cut my teeth on. So if I had to pick what my favorite bass is, it would be the spotted bass.
And myself personally, I always thought it would be a largemouth bass, and I love fishing for largemouth bass. But when I went to St. Clair and started catching smallmouths, I fell in love with them. They're just so aggressive. It's hard to be. Bill and I fished the Ohio River a lot, but when you got a short line on a big stick, catching a largemouth, that's great. But when you get one of them little fairy wands, catching those big smallmouth, there's a different pull to it. So I'm torn between the two.
I'm with this Bill. I didn't have a boat growing up. In fact, all we had was a canoe, a 15-foot Coleman canoe. And me and my dad, we called them He-Man trips. We'd take 3-day trips. Sometimes they were 30, 40 miles down the river. It's Elk River, Missouri. And they had these stream smallmouth. And as a kid, you could just drag old Gene LaRue crawdaddy behind the boat on a spinning rod. And they'd only be about that big, but I fell in love with their tenacity then. And then you fast forward, I got out of college, had enough money to buy a boat. And it took me a few years before I got the chance to actually go up north and experience those northern smallmouth. I just fell in love with them. I think a part of it because it takes me back to when I was a kid catching them. There's something about it that triggered that in me, and it sticks to my heart and my soul. And man, I love them brown ones.
I always loved Kentucky Lake. I always thought Kentucky Lake was like the ultimate place to fish.
Yeah.
And then my first trip, I go to St. Clair, and it's like, I've been driving 300 miles south to go to Kentucky Lake, and it's only 300 miles north to be at St. Clair.
Absolutely.
So, I spend a lot of time in St. Clair now.
Yeah, but now Kentucky Lake's full of smallmouth.
It's back. It was that way in the 90s, and now it's flipped back.
Yeah, it's on fire.
Well, if they told me I had one rod that I could use the rest of my career, it would definitely be a 7.6 heavy arc flipping rod. Like I said, I grew up on the Ohio River where I had a flipping rod in my hand all the time. So if I had to pick one rod, it would definitely be a flipping rod. And if I had to name her, man, I don't know what that would be. I guess we'll just call her Big Stick.
It's
How
a
about
girl.
meat pole?
It's a girl, and you're gonna call her.
I don't
Big
know. I don't even know how I thought she was a girl. Whatever.
That's weird,
But
Bill.
that would be my rod. 7.6 heavy arc flipping rod.
I'm kind of like Bill. I'd probably have a 7.6 heavy. I throw a luge rod, worm jig type rod. Name wise, I don't know. Meat pole, something like that, meat stick, something like that. So
Is that a boy or a girl?
I'm not. We're open on that one.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, that's good. Mine's gonna be like totally different. I like a 7-foot medium action Kistler helium. I love throwing a jerkbait, and that rod, man, it's just perfect. It loads up on them jerkbait fish, and don't let them go. And I can throw a jerkbait till I'm blue in the face. I don't know. Mine's, I don't know. We'll call it
Little jerky.
little jerk. That's fun. I'm gonna call her Big Stick.
Yeah, big stick and little jerk.
I needed that laugh. I don't know what I'd call her. I
This
think
is
I'd
bad.
call her Big Stick.
All right, I guess I'll get started again. Once again, I grew up on the Ohio River. when we're on the tour, we get to go to the best lakes in the country at the best time of the year, so you know you're going to catch a bass. Where I grew up out on the Ohio River is truly probably my favorite place to fish because, one, that's where I learned how to fish. I have so many memories there. But the other thing is I love the challenge of the Ohio River. There's days still that I can go to the Ohio River and fish daylight to dark and maybe never get a bite. So I love that challenge. So if I had to pick a place that would be my favorite place to go fishing, it would definitely be the Ohio River.
I grew up fishing the Ohio River too, and I still hate it as much now as I did then. Because in those situations, you either are a hero or you're a zero on the Ohio River. It is challenging. But if I pick my favorite place, I mean, for a largemouth, I mean, probably best tournament day fishing I ever had on largemouth was Lake Chickamauga, and then probably St. Clair or St. Lawrence River, one of those two for smallmouth.
Yeah, hands down, my favorite fishery is the St. Lawrence River. It's full of every fish, big ones. You can catch largemouth, smallmouth, pike, yellow perch, walleye. It is a fish factory, and that just will never get old for me. That is so much fun.
We could sit here and talk about that all day long. You know, I'm kind of one of them anglers that probably carry more tackle in my boat than I should. But if you ever pull up to me and need a pink worm, I probably got it. So must-haves for me, obviously, are going to be the right equipment to perform the job that we need to do. Obviously, we got to have some boat snacks, you know. And I think a lot of times when we're out there on the water fishing, having a great time, I think a lot of times we forget about being hydrated. So I think a must-have when you're out there on the water, like I said, I think we forget about it a lot. Definitely have liquids in there to keep you hydrated, whether that be water, sports drinks, whatever you like. Just keep them on hand, because if you don't pay attention to that, you get dehydrated really quick.
Water, without a doubt. You know, I drink a ton of water, but one bait that I have to have, I'll always either have like a jig or a rage curl, regardless. I don't care where I go in the world, I've got one of those tied on. Might not throw it, but it's tied on. I don't feel complete unless I got that in the boat.
Two things. You got to have powdered donuts. For me, Hostess powdered donuts are like the best good luck breakfast I've ever eaten. It seems like if I can knock out a whole bag before takeoff, I catch them. The second thing is if it's tournament day, guys, we got to have one of those oxygen enrichment systems in the boat because we got to keep our fish alive. So
absolutely.
Those are two things to add to their great list that they added. Those are two must-haves in your boat.
Go ahead.
Good. Hey, Bill McDonald here. You can find me either at BMAC Fishing, website Bill McDonald Fishing, or Bill McDonald Pro Angler. Between those three things there, you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. If I'm somewhere else, please let me know.
Yeah, Bill Lowen here. Easiest way to do is follow me on Facebook, social media, Bill Lowen Fishing, and follow along. You know, we put a lot of information out there to help you on the water, and not necessarily only on the water, off the water, on the water. You want to get some good information, follow all three of us social media wise, and hopefully we can help you out.
Yeah, check me out. It's Kyle Cortiana Fishing, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. I film my own deer hunts. I do deer hunting stuff. I do fishing stuff. Try to give as much back to you outdoor enthusiasts as I can. And check me out and let me know what you think.
And here's the other important thing about all three of us. And I'm willing, I'll say this, we all fish so we can fly. That's a whole deal.
Absolutely.
As soon as season's over, some's in a duck blind, some's in a tree stand, some of us are doing all of it. So we fish so we can hunt.
That's it. Loving the outdoors.